Story below contains spoilers for John Wick Episode 4. Yes, Lionsgate thinks John Wick is back. According to Lionsgate Cinema Group President Joe Drake, John Wick Chapter 4 was expected to be final installment in main action franchise, but after film's staggering opening at global box office, fifth chapter is back on table. Directed by Chad Stahelski and returning Keanu Reeves as the iconic assassin, the unstoppable action movie grossed $73.8 million domestically after receiving pristine reviews and an A CinemaScore rating from audiences. The results were equally impressive overseas, where the film reached $67.6 million from 71 markets for a global debut of $141.4 million, which is a series record on all fronts. Making the fifth installment of John Wick is no small challenge considering Reeves' character apparently met his at the end of Episode 4. But Lionsgate's Drake told The Hollywood Reporter on Sunday that a John Wick 5 is no longer in question. And you can certainly interpret this ending in different ways, Drake said. But there is no guarantee. As Stahelski points out, there's facial potential for the creative team, and Reeves was pretty sure it was the end. Stahelski had previously considered making a fourth and fifth film in a row, but the idea was shelved when the end of Episode 4 was decided. Drake said, "Keanu and Chad are rightfully very protective about never making fun of the audience. So it's definitely a good fit for us. Keanu is loved and this character is so loved, that's not lost on him." It's not lost on Reeves that John Wick 4 was the second best local opening of his live-action career, after The Matrix Reloaded, which started at $91.80 domestically 2 decades ago in 2003. The voice cast of Pixar's Toy Story 4, which grossed $121 million domestically in its first weekend of 2019. Whatever fate of John Wick 5, there will be more Reeves as characters in the future, even if he is not in lead role. He appears in the first spin-off of the series, The Ballerina, in which Ana de Armas stars as another determined assassin. Directed by Len set between events of John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum and John Wick Chapter 4, the film, which is expected to be released next year, also stars Ian McShane, Anjelica Huston, late Lance Reddick. Wise man. Interestingly, very strategically in Ballerina. "And we're definitely talking about the few people he could join," Drake said. "I know Chad has a lot of great ideas." While Reeves and Stahelski seem pretty solid that Baba Yaga is when she appears at the recently held South by Southwest Film and TV Festival, the fourth filmmakers might have a little wiggle if they want to bring her back with some sort of fake self-disclosure. There's another possibility if Reeves wants return to the role, doing a prequel set settled down with his wife before Wick retires, but that will require Wick playing a much younger version of the character than we've seen so far. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to age, as one South by Southwest audience member pointed out to Reeves. "Yeah, man, I'm getting old," 58-year-old Reeves replied wearily. "It does, mate." Drake spoke of a prequel as a possibility, saying, "You can definitely go sooner with the story." This South by Southwest sweep was key to the final phase of the marketing campaign, which even competitors appreciated. Led by Lionsgate Motion Picture Group Vice President Adam Fogelson, as well as Motion Picture Group Head of Marketing J.P. Richards and Co-President Keri Moore, the campaign reaffirmed that John Wick is more of a man whose journey is motivated by love and painful loss than a superhero. In a recent interview with THR before the movie was released, Stahelski stated that despite Lionsgate's hesitation, he and Reeves were pretty sure it was the end. The studio's response to killing Wick was, in his own words, "What do you think?" Still, Stahelski did not completely rule out a fifth trip. "It's always like 3 months later," the director said in a separate interview, imagining how they could imagine the fifth. "Keanu and I took a long trip to Tokyo. We'll do it, sit at the Imperial Hotel Scotch Bar and say, 'What do you think?' we will ask. We'll have a few 20-year-old whiskeys and write some ideas on napkins. If these ideas stick around, maybe we'll make a movie." In a world where many actors have retired from roles but are returning, comes the possibility of being fifth. CinemaScore's Paul Dergarabedian says, many boxers, rock bands, and star athletes have announced that they're retiring just to change their minds, So while the future of the most beloved and legendary hitman is uncertain, wouldn't it be wise to count John Wick at this point? And given incredible success of this latest installment, it's clear that fans around the world aren't ready to call great Baba Yaga au revoir. Neither should the studio.